How is it going, Bears and NFL fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Down podcast, where we talk Bears and football every day of the week. Today, I am back making my Week 6 picks, new series to the channel that started last week, making my picks every week. Normally joined by Keek on the mic, but today I am just by myself. Our schedules didn't line up. I'm still giving you guys my entire weekly slate of picks. So if you want more Bears NFL content and haven't already, do us a favor, drop a like, subscribe, follow. We're bringing you guys content every day of the week. But I am Chris Maltby, your host, riding solo once again. Let's take a look at how I did in week 5 before we hop into these week 6 picks. I was 11-5. I chose the Jets over the Falcons. That was a really good game. I had Cincinnati upsetting the Packers, another really good game that came down to the wire with five missed field goals in the last 2.5 minutes. The Steelers, man, they came out strong. They beat the Broncos, held off a last-second comeback there at the end. I had the Washington football team that was pretty underwhelming against the Saints. Pretty good game there from Jameis Winston. And then I had the Panthers. Sam Darnold did not look too great last week after having a really good start to the season over the Eagles. The Eagles and Jaylen Hurts got it done 21-18. So we're heading into week 6. We're looking to improve on this record. So let's hop right into it, fellas. First game of the week, Thursday night football. We've got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading up to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. Now, this is an easy pick for me. I am going to go with the Bucs, but there's one thing I will say. The Bucs are favored by 7. I think this could be a better game than a lot of people think. We've seen Miles Sanders get off to a pretty good start so far this season for the Eagles. Jaylen Hurts is currently their rushing leader with 43 carries for 256 and 3 touchdowns. But I like what I've seen so far out of Devontae Smith, the rookie out of Alabama. He's got 25 catches, 315 yards and a score. But I like Jaylen Hurts a lot. I think he's underestimated by a lot of people, underrated by a lot of people. And I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, if I'm being completely honest. He's put up numbers so far this season in terms of passer rating that have been top 10 in the league. I think he's a good quarterback, but Tom Brady's coming to town. You got to give me the Buccaneers in that one. Darius Slay in that Eagles secondary, one of the only good pieces they have. And with Antonio Brown, someone who's red hot coming into town, as well as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, the Buccaneers could be the first team in NFL history with 3,000-yard receivers. So give me the Buccaneers in the Thursday night showdown. Should be a good game nonetheless, though. I think Jaylen Hurts will surprise some people. Heading on to the Sunday slate, we've got a game out over the pond again, I believe at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've got the Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go ahead and take the Dolphins here. I still don't trust the Jaguars with the whole Urban Meyer situation going on and everything. That team just seems out of sorts, and I'm not too sure how long we're going to see Urban coaching there, much longer. For the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa returned to practice. Myles Gaskin coming off a really good week. Devontae Parker's looked good. They've got some pretty solid players there in that secondary, so I'm going to go with Miami in this one. Next game's a pretty easy pick for me. I kind of do ride high with the Bengals. I think they're one of the most underrated teams in the league. They're going to Detroit, who lost another heartbreaker on a Greg Joseph field goal at the end of the game against Minnesota. Dan Campbell had some pretty big balls there at the end of the game and ended up going for 2, getting up 17-16. Unfortunately, they dropped that one by a score of 19-17. But I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I think they have a high-flying offense with T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Jamar Chase has been incredible coming off of another good week. Joe Burrow's looking great. That defense is also mad underrated, and I believe that Joe Mixon coming back at a better health than he was in last week. I think Cincinnati runs away with this one, to be completely honest with you. Let's head into another game. This one's going on in my college state where I live right now in Indiana. We got the Texans at the Colts. I think Carson Wentz looked really good last week, if I'm being completely honest. Got the ball to his playmakers. Michael Pittman looked really good. Had a long grab for a touchdown against the Ravens. Jonathan Taylor looking good and healthy. I'm going to go with the Colts in this one slightly. They are 9.5-point favorites. You know, we saw Davis Mills last week. Put up a pretty good fight against the Patriots, but I like what Carson Wentz was able to do last week. That defense was pretty good. It was unfortunate that the Colts lost in such a heartbreaking way, but I've got them bouncing back in this one. I think the Colts are definitely the best 1-4 team in the league thus far. So give me the Colts over the Texans in that AFC South divisional battle. Not much to talk about in this next game. Rams and Giants. I mean, the Rams coming off an impressive win on Thursday Night Football over the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson got hurt. Matthew Stafford needed to get his hand taped up in that one. Giants, without Saquon Barkley, without Kenny Golladay, we might see former Bears starter Mike Glennon stepping in there. Looks like they might have Daniel Jones back, but either way, this Rams team is just too good, so I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. The Chiefs, coming off a loss where really they got the drum pounded on Sunday Night Football against the Bills, a team that I think is one of the best in football. They're going to be heading to Washington. They're 7-point favorites over the Washington football team. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people expect. I like what Washington's doing so far. I think Heineke's looked okay. Antonio Gibson's starting to get the ball rolling. Terry McLaurin's always great. So I think it's a close game. This Kansas City defense allowing the most points in the league. On track to be historically one of the worst defenses in NFL history. But I'm going to go with the Washington football team here. The Chiefs, or I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. Washington's a team that can put up a fight, but if it turns into a game somehow where there's fireworks, the Chiefs are the best amongst many at winning those games. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is down. They've got Darrell Williams, the backup, subbing in. I'm still confident in him and their ability to get the ball to their playmakers. It's Patrick Mahomes. How can you go against him in any situation? My apologies, a little under the weather, but heading into the next game, Vikings at Panthers. They're going to Carolina. Sam Darnold, I mentioned it earlier when I talked about the Eagles, coming off not the greatest week. Minnesota coming off a week where they barely got over the Detroit Lions. Looks like Christian McCaffrey will be returning in this one. I'm going to go with the Panthers. The game is in Carolina. Minnesota's a 1-point favorite. I like what the Vikings have done offensively. Looks like they're going to get Dalvin Cook back. Alexander Madison was great filling in for him. But I'm going to go with Carolina. I think McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Darnold, all of them have a bounce back week, in that Carolina defense is stingy good and only getting better with the additions of CJ Henderson as well as Stephon Gilmore. Next game, as we head to the end of our morning slate, this is going to be quite the game. The Chargers at the Ravens. I picked the Chargers last week over the Browns. That was easily the best game of the week, in my opinion. Ravens also had a thriller where they beat the Colts there. Lamar Jackson had quite the game. I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. I just think Justin Herbert's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They have so much firepower on that offense. Eckler has looked insane. Mike Williams is looking great. Keenan Allen still getting quality reps. I think this Chargers offense is too much. I think their defense will do enough to be able to get Lamar Jackson off the field like we saw the Colts do in the first half. And I've got the Chargers in Baltimore winning this game that they are actually underdogs in. So give me the Baltimore, or give me the Los Angeles Chargers. If you're betting on that game, definitely I'd go with Chargers +3. But that's going to be a good one for sure. 2 4-1 teams facing off. And here's another great game coming up. We've got the Cardinals at the Browns. Cleveland losing a heartbreaker to the Chargers last week. The Cardinals coming up on top over Trey Lance and the 49ers, but they didn't play that impressive of a game. This game's in Cleveland. I'm going to take the Browns in this one. Kyler Murray looks like one of the MVP candidates so far this season, as well as Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. I think it's going to be a great race between a couple of these guys as we head down the stretch, but I like what Cleveland's defense is able to do. We obviously saw them shut down the Bears a couple of weeks ago, and this Cardinals offense is high-powered. We've seen James Conner and Chase Edmonds have a good start to the season, A.J. Green getting involved, Christian Kirk, and obviously DeAndre Hopkins. But I like what the Browns bring to the table. I think this is a little bit of a risky pick, but they were able to put up a ton of points last week, get all their receivers involved. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the best 1-2 punch in the league at running back, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. Next game, this is a really interesting one as well. The Bears obviously coming off of a win over the Raiders, and the Broncos coming off not the greatest loss against the Steelers. And don't know if I said the Raiders beat the Bears. The Raiders lost to the Bears. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it. I think I already said that, but some in my subconscious is telling me I messed that up. We've got Raiders at Broncos. Denver's a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to go with the Raiders here, actually. They were able to slow down the Bears offense enough. I think they're going to be able to slow down Teddy Bridgewater. Obviously a controversial week for the Raiders with John Gruden's resignation and all. But I like the pieces they have on offense, man. Renfro, Ruggs, Waller, Josh Jacobs. I think that defense is solid. I think Derek Carr goes to Denver and gets this one done. Next game, another good one in the afternoon slate, 4:25 p.m. on CBS. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are the greatest team of all time. They almost dropped to 1-4 last week if it wasn't for quite the comeback in Houston. The Cowboys, man, that offense is high powered. They had another great showing last week against the New York Giants. So CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, all those guys are eating. We're seeing Micah Parsons really find his own for that Cowboys defense. Give me the Cowboys in this one. I think they continue to put up a ton of points. This one's a really tough choice for me, if I'm being completely honest. Seahawks at Steelers. The Seahawks defense, we haven't been able to really see them stopping opponents too much. The Steelers obviously are the Steelers, but they are coming off of a win. The big mitigating factor in this one is Russell Wilson going down. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks with that finger injury that he had to get surgery on. Geno Smith stepping in. Obviously, the Seahawks have some of the best offensive weapons in the game, especially when Russ is their starting quarterback. They still have Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf. Man, this is a tough one to pick. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. This one might come back and bite me in the butt, but I'm going to go Seattle. I think Geno Smith looked pretty good last week outside of one really bad interception at the end of the game. I'm not confident that that defense is going to be able to stop Big Ben, but one thing that I know is if Geno can put the balls in the right spot, the Seahawks can put up points, and I'm not sure if Big Ben's going to be able to do that consistently. I really like what the Steelers have there. Najee Harris has been playing some great football. We saw Deontay Johnson have a great week last week. Juju Smith-Schuster's out for the season. I think this is going to be a really good game for Sunday Night Football, but I'm going to lean slightly towards the Seattle Seahawks. That might be a little bit of a controversial pick. Let's head into the last game of the week, Monday Night Football. The Titans, man, coming off of a win over the Jaguars, and then a team I already said I think might be the best in football, the Buffalo Bills. I've got to go with them once again. I think Josh Allen's looking great. Emmanuel Sanders and Dawson Knox had a really good performance on Sunday Night Football last week. That defense shut down Patrick Mahomes. We haven't really been able to see the Titans get much of an offense going this year, other than that game in Seattle, outside of Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill hasn't had the greatest season so far. He's been doing what he's needed to do to get them to 3-2. But I think he could definitely do more. I'm going to go with the Bills in this one to wrap up my week 6 picks. Let's hope I can go better than 11-5. Definitely some controversial picks there. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Bear Down Predicts week 6. Feels good to be doing this every week and kind of branch out and not talk about the Bears. But if you guys want more content from us, head to our website. Do us a favor if you haven't already. Drop a like, subscribe, follow wherever you are listening. We're going to keep bringing you guys NFL picks every week and also Bears content every day of the week. So be sure to continue to support us, and we're going to bring you guys content each and every day. Check out our website, as I said earlier, beardown.com. Columns, articles, and blogs are getting up there all week to get you guys ready for the Bears game with the Packers. And I just realized I didn't pick Bears versus Packers. I'm not going to do that until our pregame show. I forgot to not emphasize on that earlier. But when we get there, I still have some more thinking to do. You will hear my pick for that NFC North rivalry game. So that's coming later. If you want to find the podcast on social media, we're giving away a Justin Fields jersey soon. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Bear Down. But guys, it's been a pleasure to be your host. A lot going on in Chicago sports right now. Obviously, the White Sox bumped out of the playoffs yesterday. I'm recording this on Wednesday night. That was a little bit of a tough one for sure, but Chicago Sky still playing well. We've got the Blackhawks kicking off their season tonight. Obviously, you guys will know how they did tomorrow once this video's out. But I have high hopes for them and Marc-Andre Fleury. Bull's looking pretty good in the preseason. And obviously, man, it's Packers week. Big one for sure. So, guys, it's been a pleasure to be your host. Once again, my name is Chris Maltby. And Bears fans and NFL fans alike, as always, do us a favor and stay safe and bear down.